This is a clip from the Red Cow Arcade podcast.
I wanted to talk briefly about Mark Zuckerberg.
I know he's renamed Facebook. I think like Meta shows up on my Facebook app now.
The metaverse, and he's got some lofty Wall-E-ish type aspirations for the human race, where he wants us
We're
all
all going to be our fat pods.
Yeah, I don't know what it is exactly, but YouTube recommended to me a 1-hour lecture that he gave to a CS class in 2005. So Facebook made a big splash in 2004, but it was still kind of like in colleges mostly. I mean, it was a very popular platform, but it didn't have any boomers on it yet. And the boomer adoption, I think, is really what made that thing take off.
Yeah. And a lot of people were just on MySpace, you know?
Right.
MySpace was killing it at that point.
To listen to this kid, he was 21 in this lecture. He's standing there with his hands in his pockets. He's not bizarre like he is now. You know, like where he's smoking these meats and he's just fucking weird and he's an android. He's instead just like a nerdy college kid tripping over his own words with glottal fry, saying the word like too much. Mostly what he was like, we just really wanted people to be able to upload their photos really fast. So we developed this ActiveX controller, and like not everybody that we hire, we're hiring like pretty rapidly actually, but not everybody that we hire is talented. So we're trying to get like the really good guys to like hang out with the really bad guys. Just saying this kind of shallow shit. And I'm just staring at this going like, this guy changed humanity.
He's just like a weird college kid.
He transformed it. No, that is not an overstatement.
No.
He changed global fucking politics. He changed the way people relate to one another. He changed, I think over time it'll have changed our chemistry. You know, it's insane. And all I could think was like, as I'm watching this kid talk about bandwidth, and he's like, yeah, we're, like early in the morning, we have maybe like 7,000 people logged in, but like, yeah, by 9:00 West Coast, it's like 400,000 people logged into our platform. This is in 2005. And I was like, oh my God. I mean, how many people are logged into Facebook right now? Do you think is it in the billions?
Yeah, I'm sure people are constantly.
Would it be better for him and for Facebook if it had not been so successful?
Something about this success and age has turned him into something else. Turned him into some other entity.
Lovecraftian.
A Lovecraftian
You might say.
entity with tentacles.
I mean, there's this one part where he goes, and keep in mind, it's 2005. Academics are concerned about privacy and about data security, but it's really just not on people's minds nearly the way it is today. There haven't been any high profile data breaches at this point. You know, it's just not the same thing. And I had to write down a quote. He goes, well, the thing that makes Facebook fun is that like, you can get like a lot of information about a lot of people.
It's like harvesting, everything about them so that maybe we could monetize that.
Some kid in the classroom was like, you ever think about privacy or anything like that? And,
like, no.
And he goes,
we love it that they give us this.
Yeah, and he's like, well, to us, what's important is that they control what they show and what they don't show, and once they decide to show it, though, it's kind of out of the box, and there's nothing we can do about it. Because they had this very like cavalier kind of like, the privacy thing. I think we can handle that pretty simply. No, it's probably
so simple.
It's probably one of the most complicated issues in human history, actually.
That you just like on a whim just decide to open that Pandora's box.
But now, you know how you go to a video and you see the likes and the dislikes? You will no longer, as a viewer of the video, see the dislikes. The content creator, the uploader, will on the back end get to see how many dislikes they got.
This is YouTube, right?
On YouTube. Yeah, so you'll be able to see dislikes on the back end, and the YouTube algorithm will drive recommendations still based on dislikes, but they're hiding it. And the justification for it, the formal justification is this will protect small channels from harassment campaigns. And we're supposed to believe that.
No. This is to prevent another like Girl Ghostbusters trailer dislike campaign.
Right. Yeah, totally.
It's to protect corporate entities, because like MSNBC is really mad that they get a lot of dislikes on all their things.
It's such a shame too, because I think it's a really, really reasonable form of civil disobedience.
Yeah.
Like you're not saying anything hateful. You're just saying that seems fair to get all your friends together and go.
Yeah. And sometimes even if all your friends get together and go, that Cinemassacre Truth video still gets recommended to people.
Yeah, we were chatting about like, well, maybe YouTube has ways of figuring out like if something has a balance of likes and dislikes, and then it has like a high rate of comments, maybe they think of it as controversial, and then they actually recommend it more, as opposed to if it had a consensus of likes. But I think it's a shame. I think it was one of the few things left that like was almost like a bug that they couldn't remove, and now they're just going to go ahead and remove it, and we'll forget that it ever was there.
Yeah, especially because everyone, Facebook only has likes, really, or they have like applause and like hearts and stuff like that. But
was there something inadequate about like if you don't want to display it, like because you don't have to show the likes and dislikes, you never have had to, and so does MSNBC, like they always disable comments. That's become commonplace. It's not weird for a mega corporation to hide comments.
I don't know. I'm sad to see it go.
I'm really sad to see it go.
I think, I think there's something to that ratio and seeing it.
It just feels like they're removing more and more ways to say, and then
you just have to like verbally say it.
Yeah, well,
unless they disable comments,
they moderate the comments pretty good. So alas, that's my YouTube and Zuckerberg commentary. But that Zuckerberg, that was an education. Staring at that kid. There was a wonderful comment on the topic of YouTube comments that was, "This guy looks like he's going to be surrounded by senators someday."
Senator.
You don't want to be so successful that you're surrounded by senators,
No,
it's still just that kid. It's that fucking weirdo kid with all the suntan lotion on his face. that Ken hair, ginger Ken.
It looks like it's carved into his skull.
It does. I welcome any joke about like you're going to be worth $100 billion and you can't get a better haircut than that.
Subscribe to Red Cow Entertainment on Patreon for full episodes every other week.